Good evening and welcome to the Whisky Lover Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight we are looking at the Springbank 15. Now, for those of you that are following my channel, you know that I did a review on the 12-year-old. Was definitely not impressed with it. Also did the 17-year-old Madeira cask finish. Loved it. And with regards to the 12-year-old, I did a little bit of a discussion with some of the YouTubers regards to the 12-year-old, and it was a little bit of a hit and miss. Some people loved it, some people did not like it. Some people liked the funkiness, some people did not like the funkiness. So I was in those corner that I really did not like it. The aromas coming out of that did definitely not agree with me. So, but I will put a link over here so that you can go watch the video as well after this video, and also maybe have a look at the 17-year-old. But tonight it's all about the 15-year-old. Now, I bought this one as a recommendation from a couple of YouTubers that say this is going to be one that I would love. So I pulled the trigger, bought it. Recommended price on this one is €95, so definitely not a cheap one, but of course it is Springbank, so you do tend to pay a little bit of a premium for it. It is a single malt. It is from the Campbelltown region, natural color, non-chill filtered, bottled at 46% ABV, and of course it's produced by the Springbank distillery. So I'm quite looking forward to this one. I did pour it a while ago. I've learned my lesson from the first reviews of Springbank. It needs some time in a glass. But when I did pour this one, I just gave it a quick nose just to see what I get. And the first thing that I did get was a hint of a smokiness. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be smokiness in this one, but that is what I got. 15-year-old Springbank, 46% ABV on the nose. Cheers. That is really nice. Now, on the 12-year-old, that little funky notes that they were talking about, definitely no funkiness on this one. So the first thing that I get is that in the beginning, when I just bought it, like I said, is that little bit of a smokiness. That smokiness completely disappeared. Now it's a lovely, rich, aromatic nose coming out. Big sherry sweetness. Absolutely fantastic. Very sweet. A little barley sweetness coming out. Maybe a little bit of a brown sugar notes coming out. A little bit of a raisins coming out. A little bit of figs coming out. A date sweetness coming out. I get a hint of a cinnamon coming out, and I get a little bit of a vanilla, but very, very faint at the back, a hint of that vanilla note. Wow, it's a little bit like a Christmas cake. Fantastic. Also, what I get of a little bit of an agitation every now and again, I get that little bit of a dark chocolate note. But not a bitter kind, more maybe 60% cocoa chocolate. You get that little bit of a hint that says it could be chocolate, but it's something like a chocolate or a toffee that was covered with a little bit of a chocolate. So you get that little both of the chocolate and a little bit of the caramel. Really, really nice. And every time that I go back, I get a little bit more sweetness. It is quite sweet on the nose, quite inviting, quite pulling you into that sweetness, and your mouth starts to watering. Now, it is 46% ABV, but I don't get that on the nose. Even with a little bit of agitation, it's almost like there's no alcohol for me. So either I'm getting used to the alcohol, but for me this is just very pleasant on the nose. So on the taste, cheers. that smoke that I got in the initial pour, I do get that hint of that smoke on the taste. And just quickly after that is this rush of sweet sherry coming in. And I get the sweetness of it. And I get a little bit of a hot, spicy feel to it. It feels like that 46% has now been elevated maybe to 50% ABV. So you've got that hotness of the alcohol, a little bit of a spiciness of the alcohol, very warm mouthfeel, but it quickly disappears into this lovely sweetness with the raisins, the toffee notes coming out, a little bit of a chocolate note coming out, fig notes, dates coming out. Wow, that is really, really nice. Even at 46%, I think I can drink it like this, but I think, of course, it could be a good idea, maybe just to add a little bit of water to see what the effect is going to be. A little bit of a tannins also coming in, just want to make sure. At 15 years, I was expecting a little bit more tannins. For me, a person that hates oaky tannins, I don't get a lot of it. There is a hint of it, but it's fantastic for me and I can drink it like that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. As it is now, I will be able to drink it. I will enjoy it like that. But of course, this is a whiskey review. I need to look at all the angles to see which one can be suited for you and maybe also suited for me. So I've got a little bit of water. I'm not going to add a lot, maybe half a teaspoon of water. Remember, you can always add water, but you can't take the water out. So with a little bit of water added, the first thing that I did notice is the little Scottish mist, the cloudiness appearing, which I expect, non-chill filtered, 46%, so we expect a little bit of a mist forming. But the first thing on the nose, it seems to be the sweetness has been intensified for me. And I also get a little bit of a fruity note coming out in the form of a fresh pears, a little bit of a green apple note coming out. Oh, this is really, really nice. And it's strange that it can change from the dried fruit varieties into a fresh fruit variety with adding of a little bit of water. On the taste of water. That half a teaspoon for me was just perfect. I think if I added a little bit more, it would have tasted a little bit watered down. So I get less of that spicy, warm heat for me. Feels a little bit more sweeter for me, if that is even possible. I get that smoky heat that I had, or hint that I had in the beginning. It's now a lot less. You still have a little bit of that warm mouthfeel, but it's not that spicy as without the water. Absolutely fantastic. If you decide to add water, you're going to like it. If you are into sweet sherry type of whiskies, you are going to like it. If you are somebody that do not like a lot of tannins, you are going to like it. Only thing that you might not like is maybe the price. Sometimes it can become a little bit expensive. But if you can find something in the range of 90 or less than €100, maybe try to get a sample to see if you like it. If you are on the same wavelength as I am with regards to tasting and nosing, then you're definitely going to like it. But always a good idea to see if you can get a sample, maybe in the pub, maybe at the store that sells samples. Give it a try. Decide for yourself if you want it or not. So the finish for me, it is nice. Starts with a nice sweet sherry, big sherry notes. And it moves into a little bit of a warm mouthfeel and it ends with a hint of an oak. Absolutely fantastic, and for that reason I'm going to give it a score of 88 out of 100. I really liked it. Compared to a 12-year-old, that stinker, wow, this is absolutely fantastic. Very close to the maybe towards likeness to the 17-year-old. If I had the opportunity to buy another 17-year-old, I would definitely buy that as well. But this is a very good alternative to the 17-year-old, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So with that, that is my review of the Springbank 15. Remember to like and subscribe. Don't like, but subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me what do you think about the 15-year-old. Have you tried it? Is there another Springbank that you would like to see reviewed in the future? And I see you next time. Cheers.